We're doing stuff a little different now. We are here to discuss Xbox and what their moves today has actually means to cloud gaming. So sit back, join in, and let's hear all your opinions. Let's kick things off. So here we go. Xbox are going all in on cloud gaming and everything under the sun. Barry, what do you think about this news? And do you want to recap what all's going on here, or do you want me to do that?
That was a swanky opening, I must say.
Did you like that?
Cover that off before. Can't just gloss over that, surely.
Yeah.
That was bloody brilliant. Yes. I guess I can run with it if you want, and if I kind of obviously miss anything, you can fill in the blanks, I suppose. That's kind of normally how it works. Okay, so yes, in the true spirit of E3 season, Xbox decided that they wanted to drop an absolute ton of news today. So what we got was a Q&A session and kind of an excerpt from a Q&A session with Satya Nadella and Phil Spencer talking about how that basically people are at the center of gaming and kind of everything that kind of want to push with the limits. So obviously I think the one that we've all been talking about for the last few weeks and saying that we needed to happen, first announcement, of course, was that the xCloud server blades are going to be upgraded to Series X within a few weeks. They're in the final phase of internal testing. So that's great news to hear that, because it's something we've been saying they really, really need. And then kind of following that, they've then obviously gone on to then discuss that they are going to have their app available on TVs later in the year. And there is also going to be a dedicated stick that can be obviously popped into the TV as well. So kind of really expanding out the availability, to consume everything within that Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription. So whether it kind of be on the TV and obviously without the need of a console, with that on the basis of the fact they're popping it into an app. And more importantly as well, it is worth also mentioning that as you read further down the article, they are also very clearly pointed out that xCloud, the actual xCloud services, is going to be available and embedded in the PC app, but it's also going to be integrated with the console experience, which I know again is something on the green room that we've kind of gone back and forth to talk about that the Series S being a bit of a hybrid model, and I think this is that integration is something that we're clearly going to see part of there. And then also following that, and I can take a breath in a minute. We also know that it's
you're doing well. You're doing well. I put you under the gun there for this here.
But they also announced that it's going to be coming to Mexico, Brazil, Japan, and I think there's one other country, but I'm missing it off the list.
Australia, Brazil, Mexico, and Japan.
There we go. So cloud gaming is going to be available later in the year in those regions.
Yeah, there's a couple more wee things which I want to just pick up here on this news, and we'll talk about how this is going to affect everything. Guys, and girls and all that sort of carry on.
Girls? How many girls is there? There's one girl.
I'm talking about the chat.
There's probably no girls in the chat.
There's definitely a girl in the chat. So
there we go. Can we have an apology, Kelly?
Clyde Gamer isn't a girl, he's a boy.
Okay. Well, we'll just go back to this here. There's a couple of interesting things in this for me, which are more business sort of related. The second bullet point there is Xbox is exploring new subscription offerings for Xbox Game Pass, so more players around the world can experience the most immersive and fun games across devices, geographies, and financial realities. And Xbox is working with telecommunication providers on new purchasing models like Xbox All Access, basically to get things going round there. So for me, what that means is they're looking to reduce the price of Xbox, and this is going to become really key in some of these emerging markets where they're going to be trying to hit, where they're going to have to keep the game prices down, because as we know, different countries around the different world have different fees, and the $15 a month will be a lot. It's a lot more in different countries than it is in other places. So I think that is absolutely brilliant, and what with them going to Brazil here as well, absolutely amazing. Also coming out from this as well, because it was actually during a talk behind the scenes to a number of these different media outlets. Matt Booty, I love his name. I think it's flipping class. Has confirmed that they are going to be buying more studios, and they're going to be trying to pump out at least one big exclusive game every quarter, first party game that is. So that doesn't include games which might be console exclusive on Game Pass for a time being. This is just their pure first party. So that is something amazing as well, and it is just mad where they are going. Game Pass is going to be going everywhere they can bring it. So it's I'm just really excited on this. So I'm just going to keep this portion of the talk just the Xbox and what this means for Xbox. I don't know who to go to first here, because I think everybody's bouncing here. So Happy.
Well, well, this was as exciting as it can get. I spat out my coffee when I saw this, so it was really exciting. I think maybe Xbox can do something about the Game Pass Ultimate. Maybe they do a bundle, like a family bundle, with a couple of subscription inside that you can have many couple of more on the same Game Pass, like 3 membership, and you pay a little more for that, just to get the family thing to xCloud or something. That could be really interesting to see if they can do something about that, so it's even more attractive for a bigger family.
Yeah, I would love to see Game Pass a family one as well. Kelly, what about you? What do you think of this news? Okay, thank you, Kelly.
Oh my god, I am going to go down there and kick your butt.
So what do you think about this, Kelly?
Well, I am so looking forward to getting on the cloud, because, like, I'm the only one out of everybody that hasn't been getting on the cloud.
Couple of weeks now, everyone will be in, so...
I'd still probably not get on, because they probably just don't like me.
It'll be out of beta, so you'll be all good for the web.
Yeah. I am so looking forward to getting on the cloud. I just can't wait for it.
Yeah.
Well, can.
Yeah, they've been keeping you well back there. Again, for just to reiterate, it is going to cloud for everybody in the next couple of weeks. And by the sounds of it, Series X blades are not far behind that either. I will leave that point to Barry to make, because we have discussed this slightly, if he remembers. Yeah, but is there any reason why they could be bringing it out there? That's
yes.
I got you. Yes. So, Andy, what is your take on all this?
Well, I think if I'm following you two right, second game coming out, that they probably need the power of Series X to properly show it off if it comes to Game Pass on day one, like we're talking about. If it comes, so. Battlefield. Are we? Is that what we're all? Is that what you know? Something else? All right. Okay. So if Battlefield comes day and day to Game Pass day one, will it be cloud as well to show off the Series X blades? That's my. That was where my thought process was going, because if that's the case. That's insane, because they've actually then they're well, it's EA, isn't it? So that tells you everything of where where both companies see themselves.
Yeah,
I think also EA, if that has something to do with it, they may maybe bring to the cloud service, the EA games more and more over. So, and we have the holiday coming up, so they maybe want to have the xCloud service up there before Halo drops.
There we go.
Yay!
Yay! That's the game we're talking about. It is Halo. Halo is the game. So, Barry, if
Okay,
you wanna
I was just about to type. I'm way behind.
yes. Barry,
I'm typing it anyway.
Barry, you can take that on, then I think we'll jump through the chat here afterwards, and we can just expand on the list.
Yeah, I see that now. I see where you and Barry were going. that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
I don't think I need to say anything, do I now?
No.
No, I mean, I think certainly with the focus this weekend, with obviously their show on Sunday night, I think it's quite clear, quite evident that Halo is going to feature. And I think, I mean, obviously it's a little bit of speculation, but certainly looking at some of the rumored timescales that Halo Infinite could potentially be dropping, I think that they've clearly been working on a development process to ensure that they are there so that they can kind of go, well, bang, Series X blades are in the cloud. So xCloud gaming is taking off in browser, Android, iOS, Safari, and then here we go, the next installment of Halo Infinite, massive kind of multiplayer scenario, experience it in the cloud, and I think that's exactly where they're heading with all the work they've been doing.
My question is with the TV.
Sorry, Happy. Go on.
No, my question is about the TV, when they're going to partner with TVs and which kind of connection they're going to use. Are they going to use the Bluetooth? Are they going to make some new controller just for cloud gaming, or that's something to look at? Yeah,
I think that's a brilliant point there, Happy. I think that a Wi-Fi controller is probably on their to-do list. I think it's just when it's going to sort of happen. So we'll go through the chat here. Yep. Again, everybody just drop your thoughts here. We're just going to call out some people. We've got Clyde Gamer. Great to see you. We're hiding Kelly, which isn't always a bad thing. We've got no time to game. We've got Jezebel saying, let's go, Sonny. Let's go. Wrong stream. I know. I'm just keeping going. We have Hell Monkey. We have Rico. We have Warlock. We have Dr. Spaceman. Imagine if you could stream what you could own as well. We'll probably come on to that in a bit more detail, but that is coming. They have said it. They haven't said it in this blog post, but Phil Spencer has said that he wants to get to that stage. We've got Codex. We have Lee in the house as well. We have got some evil person in the house. And we will come to some of the questions. Oh, we've got Unitrix in the house as well. So, do you think that the Stream Stick will come? Okay, before we take the question, that's a good question. I just want to go through this wee section as well. I know I get a lot of stick out there. I get a lot of stick about a lot of things, but and this is one of my ones where I get a lot of stick about subscriptions and why I really love this subscription model. These are the stats out there, and I actually was interacting with one of the developers who've actually put a game onto Game Pass, and it has worked astoundingly well for them. It is the person who made Descenders, and Game Pass has basically changed that whole game, and it's made it sold more on PlayStation and I believe PC and was it Switch as well? It might be Switch as well. But basically, Xbox Game Pass members play 30% more genres, 40% more games, and the money people are actually invested into games. The biggest one here, which is going to astound people, is this one here in regards to MLB The Show. MLB The Show was put on Game Pass day one, but not only that, it was the #1 selling paid game on Xbox for the whole of April.
Yeah.
You can't sell games on a subscription, though, Duncan.
I know. This subscriptions work hand in hand, and it goes back to if you don't try it, you might not buy it. And this is why I'm not concerned about buying games on xCloud going forward. I think it's just a matter of when it is going to happen down the line. So I think it was really worth bringing this up. Subscriptions, yeah, I know a lot of people don't like subscriptions and they just want to buy the games outright. That will be coming, but it just shows you the power of the subscription model down the line here.
I think maybe the price is also going up to buy games, and if you have the subscription, it will be more no-brainer to maybe have that, and maybe you'll get some good discount on the game if you are on the description. No, that's description. Subscription. Sorry, guys.
Yes.
So it will be more worth your money to have a subscription than pay much more for the game.
Yeah, it's just really interesting where Xbox is going. Subscription is definitely part of it, and they're still looking at the hybrid model with trying to go for buying your Xbox as well. I said it last year when Xbox Series S was announced. That is going to be your gateway drug to the cloud. You're going to be able to download your games, or you can play them through cloud streaming. It has been confirmed that is happening, and it looks like it's going to be happening pretty soon, or by the end of the year, I think it said. Yeah, later this year, we're at cloud gaming directly to the Xbox on PC and integrated into our console experience as well to light up scenarios like try before you download it and things like that. So that is where we are going for the hybrid. So we'll jump into this question again. This is actually going to be a short cloudy stream for us for reasons of we're going to be covering the Summer Game Fest, where we're going to be talking about the games. So the first question is from Dr. Spaceman. If you've got any other questions or anything like that, just jump on in here. Do you think the Stream Stick is going to bring anything they wouldn't be able to do on the Chromecast with Google TV? Only thing I see is the Xbox antenna for controller and headset. Does anybody want to tackle that? Okay.
Everybody was diving in.
Just thinking.
I'm going to say no. I don't think it's going to bring anything extra, and they might chuck in. It might become like a Premier Edition where they chuck in a controller or something like that, a Stadia Premier Edition, and maybe subsidize it a bit and things like that. But I'm not expecting a great deal from it. I think it's just going to be away you go and play. Does anybody
I'm
else?
surprised they're even doing it. I still think the Series S is basically the streaming stick. Like Apple TV comes with so much hard drive space, download your games onto 64 gig and that is. I see the Series X as that already. So I'm really surprised that they're doing it, but it's a good thing. Just surprised.
Okay, Barry, are you thinking? You're thinking?
No, I'm good. I'm good to go. Yeah. Oh no, Duncan's going to carry on.
No, I was going to let you carry on.
Right. Yeah.
I do have something to say about it, but I'll let you go away.
From my perspective, I think it is literally going to be one of the. Yes, I don't think it's going to kind of offer necessarily anything over and above the others. What I think you're seeing here is Microsoft putting themselves in the domain of a Fire Stick, a Google TV with Chromecast, a similar-esque device, where you can obviously consume xCloud streaming. And I don't think it's a bad thing at all. But I don't think we'll see anything fancy from it.
Yeah, I'm just expecting it to plug into the back TV. I think they're just trying to make it cheap as possible so they can get it out there, especially for the markets where we're talking about earlier. I can see it being bundled into like an all access sort of thing. You get this sign up for all access for a ridiculously low amount, so you get the Xbox stick.
I think this can be one of the most important things for Xbox to get out to these countries, like you said, to get this stick to people that don't have a console or have a fancy TV that can run xCloud on an app. So it's going to be quite important. This stick.
Yeah, it's going to be really good to get into them sort of markets as well. So
yeah.
we've got a question from: if Xbox is getting the Series X bids, then do you see less people buying the consoles? And it's going to be a bit of both. You're going to probably see less people buying them, but in a strange way, in some places, it's not going to really affect them. Xbox have actually came out today to say that they're actually making more Xbox consoles. They have confirmed the next Xbox console is getting made at this time, but this is just giving people more options.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think necessarily sales will change. I think if you looked at that infographic that was up just then, it kind of clearly indicates that it's part of an ecosystem, part of a family, and it's part of a way of consuming it. The only difference is by this move, of course, is you now effectively have the power of the world's most powerful console powering their cloud service, which from an optimization, from a performance side, is only a good thing. It just means you get a more, of what I would say is you kind of probably get a more balanced experience, so that the gap between local and cloud tries to be marginalized as best they possibly can.
Yeah, exactly. It's going. It is probably going to cannibalize some sales down the line. I think it is going to be inevitable. But as we have seen in the other cloud gaming sort of circles as well, local is better, and this could encourage people to actually go and actually get the physical console and become more hybrid.
I think it'll encourage sales. Really do. I think people realise, that what the advantages of having it local is, and probably end up spending a lot of money on a box. But like I was saying, I put in the chat as well, when I was referring to the Apple 4K thing, and the Series S, when the Apple 4K box came out, it was £299 in this country. So if everyone's having a go at me, or seems to be having a little dig in the chat, just so you know, that's what I was referring to.
Anyway. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. This isn't actually a question. Do we think this is going to go to the Chromecast with Google TV? I've said that right, haven't I? I always forget all this. Chromecast with Google. Do we think it's going to end up there? Kelly, do you think it's going to end up there?
No.
No? Why don't you think it's going to end up there?
Because Microsoft can make their own one. And they're going to make it like something like Halo. They're going to have wee Master Chief figure and all, so they're going to make their own one.
They're going to make their own one, and that'd be funny if they did that. Wouldn't they actually customize it?
The Master Chief, how can they not sell Master Chief Wii sticks that you put into your TV instead of having a Chromecast? The wee Chromecast just looks silly.
That would be cool. Andy, do you think it's going to come to Chromecast?
I'm still surprised they're doing the TV stick, so I wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't surprise me whatsoever if it comes to it as well. Yeah, probably. GeForce Now was on it, isn't it?
Yep.
Before Stadia was on it.
Yes. Barry, do you think it'll end up there?
I think I'm going to go with the very obvious statement. Game Pass will be available to players on what was his wording? It will be available on to everybody.
It was everyone who has a Game Pass.
It will be available to everywhere where the Game Pass subscription is available to be consumed, or something along those lines. I can't remember it word for word. Which, it's on iOS, it's on Android at the minute. Let's be honest. it's an Android-based system. It's not really going to hurt anybody to add it, and I don't think anybody's going to block it. So it's another place for it to be consumed.
Happy.
I absolutely agree. It's going to be there. So,
yeah, I am of the opinion it is very, very likely to be there. It's only if Google decides to play silliness and decides to really push Stadia going forward and try and block it. I don't see it happening because of what has been going on recently.
It's an easy way to combat, though, isn't there? We'll leave the Bethesda games on the service and we'll continue to update them. Let us have our wrap on your TV service. Thank you.
Yes.
yeah.
Eddie's joined us as well. Thanks, Eddie, for joining.
No, Andy never gets tired.
Yes, I agree with this. Subs do add up. They absolutely do. But if you can also pick up brilliant wee deals on your subs as you go as well. Like you can pick up a 6-month subscription so you can pay for it on one go. You have all these wee deals. But I totally and utterly get that point about the subscriptions. They do really, really add up. So, but to be fair to Xbox, you can pay for it in bulk as well. So you can pay for 3 months, 6 months, and I think they used to do a 12-month one, but I haven't really seen that about as much now. So it's all fun. It's just mad what is just going on with this.
And we have to be honest. Yeah.
Sorry. They do add up. The problem there is it's like all of them, isn't it? You don't just have Netflix, you have others as well. You have Prime. I've got them Now TV in this country. I'm assuming there's others in other countries. They add up, but you've got to weigh the pros and the cons of what you want. You can drop some at certain points when you're not playing it. You're not tied into all the subscriptions all the time. I think that's the advantage.
Yeah, I'm just going to bring up the point by Eddie here. So remember, go check out Eddie. And I've also got your Carlos. I can't. Your Carlos. We'll just go with that. I'm just awful at saying names, and I'm not trying to. I can barely say my own name. I think this is another reason for the streaming stick.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not taking the bait, Monkey. I'm not taking the bait. Good try. We'll move on. How do you think this affects things going forward in the cloud gaming space? Do you want me to get it over and done with? I'll get my one over and done with first. I just get it out in the way so everybody looks good compared to me. I'll be a yes then. Okay. How does this affect the cloud gaming space at this time? I think Stadia and Luna. Please note what I said there. Stadia and Luna are in a bit of trouble. I think they need to start showing us some more things down the line. I'm more concerned probably about Stadia than I am with Luna because of Luna's business model, because they're going to subscription. And Stadia is in an interesting spot at this moment in time. What we're going to be seeing is Xbox are competing with Stadia in the cloud gaming space. And when people see that to subscribe to Stadia Pro to get your 30 games at this moment in time on Stadia Pro, it's $10 a month for an extra, $5 a month? And if you don't get any deals or anything, you get all those games on Game Pass, which is a significant chunk of the Stadia library. And at this moment in time, the games run better on Stadia. That is without a shadow of a doubt. But with with the Series X blades coming in imminently now, I think we are going to see some interesting things out there. I have been on record. People laugh at me when I say this. xCloud is working better for me from a pure streaming perspective. By that, I mean getting into the game and not having artifacting and lag than compared to Stadia. It's going to be interesting to see what the difference of Series X blades actually make down the line. As we've been talking about before, and we've been when we're on the green room, we've been talking about the FPS boost on Xbox for the Series X. Think about what that does. That ups the frames per second, so from 30 FPS to up to 60 FPS. That makes a hell of a lot of difference in playing games in the cloud. I think most people would accept that. I think Stadia is in a real difficult place, and this news is just reinforcing that. And I'm not even going to be talking about yesterday's news about Battlefield, because I think that was a bit of a disappointment out there as well. Oh, I forgot to shout out, hi Ray for joining us, absolutely brilliant, thanks for that. When you go to Xbox, and Dr. Spaceman's just took the point here as well, we don't have to worry about multiplayer. For multiplayer games, you know it's going to be there. And with this getting pushed out, it is going to... Stadia is in a difficult sort of place, and so is Luna. It all depends which other developers and publishers jump onto Luna to expand that service. If Activision jumps onto Luna as a channel, that could you imagine that? That could be all the Call of Duties, all the Blizzard games. They suddenly become really interesting, and it really boosts their library up. For me, GFN's in a good spot at this moment in time because of their niche. They are PC gamers and getting people to play PC games. xCloud's xCloud. PlayStation now are going to have the exclusive content, and with the strides that xCloud is making, that is actually going to be helping PlayStation Now, because just remember, PlayStation Now is running in Azure, which is Microsoft's one, so they're going to get a bit of a piggyback. It is just the two ones in the sort of middle, in Luna and Stadia, I think, are in a are going to need maybe some help down the line. Does anybody want to say? And yes, Eddie, get your point, but we are cloud gaming. We talk about all platforms.
Do you want me to go next?
Yep, you can go next.
I think I'll kind of go back to the point that I made on Twitter earlier when the announcement came out. I think today's announcement, what it has done, it is just given the cloud gaming space a massive kick up the ass. To be honest, I mean, as much as there's necessarily, I'm going to say surprise. I think there's an element of surprise, particularly surrounding the stick, and kind of, even though it's kind of been in and out of kind of rumor that, you know, at points, and they have kind of said that it's something that they might work to at a later stage. They've been a sleeping giant. Let's be honest. They are a force to be reckoned with in gaming, and we know that. They've kind of, Phil Spencer's come in and done a terrific job in terms of doing recovery of the kind of the brand, building them up, and they've always been a sleeping giant in the sense of it being in the back of their mind. You knew that cloud was going to be a thing. It was just their strategy, and quite honestly, I think they've kind of sat back. I think they've let other people kind of do what they need to do. Meanwhile, what they're actually doing is putting all their components into place, slotting them in, clicking, testing, just so that they can make sure that when that Xbox badge is on it as a service, it comes out at the level of expectation that you would anticipate for an Xbox service. And I think that's where the approach differs. So I think 100% they've given the rest of the industry a huge kick up the ass, because we know cloud gaming is the future. let's be honest. Yes, we all love our consoles and we enjoy it, and we love our PCs and all that sort of stuff. But the convenience, and as the quality improves, it's 100% the future in the way that things, where things are going to be done more commonly. It's a case of how that happens, how quickly that transition happens, and how we can consume it to what kind of level of quality, I think. But yeah, I think it's going to shake people up, because I think with the PC announcement coming when it did, and kind of rolling out at 1080p, they spoke, only what was a couple of months ago about how they were internally testing Series X blades. What we are now seeing is a 6 to 8 week period of them doing internal testing, and already they are saying in a few weeks we're ready to go to market. That says to me that you've got a kind of a behemoth which has a very clear trajectory and direction of where they want to go and what they're going to do in the space.
Yeah, they have invested a lot of money into the cloud, and I think they know what the future is. Phil knows what the future is, and that is in the cloud. And think about how much game going into Game Pass. That's what's selling the xCloud for me personally. All the good exclusive games, all the games, just you can. I can play so many different games every single day and have a bunch of fun. So I really enjoy playing on xCloud, and it runs really well. Like Duncan said, it runs really well for him. It does for me too. Actually, I'm not going to say so much about that, but I've had some couple of days now with big issue with lag on Stadia, and I have it wired to my internet. So I don't know what's going on there, but that's maybe some technical issues.
What I'm going to say is, I think people can back me up in this. I have been saying this, I think, for the guts of a year now. This is going to worry people. Cloud gaming opens up the door where you can flip between all the different services. You're going to subscribe 1 week to 1 month to Xbox, 1 week to PlayStation Now, 1 week whatever. You're going to just swap all the services about. What is going to bring you to them services? It is going to be the exclusive games. And this is why it is absolutely brilliant to see in the Xbox announcement that they are committing to basically a big game from their first party every quarter. That is what's going to draw you in and play that. So every quarter, you're going to have a big hitter probably coming out from Xbox, and that's on top of whatever else they are going to be bringing. I just find it. See, some of the stuff I have been yapping about seems to maybe starting to come true, and it's maybe filtering out there now. But it is good to see that people are beginning to see where my thinking was for a while. But
my worry is that when you have these subscriptions, you forget to unsubscribe. Like you have 5 of them, and you only play one of them.
That's what they want.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is going to be fun just to see this develop as things go along. So competition is absolutely brilliant. This is what Xbox are bringing. PlayStation have the IPs and the exclusive games. They're going to have to step up now. Andy, we haven't heard from you in a while, and Kelly, we're going to you in a while, just after Andy. Or do you not want?
No, I do, but I'll get killed, I think. Okay. If the Bethesda deal spooked Stadia enough to make them shut SG&E, which is what a lot of people have said. Sorry, Barry. Then what the hell is this going to do? Because this is there is no turning away from this in any way. Do you know what I mean? Like if the Bethesda deal really scared Stadia that much that they shut the gate, their own personal studios that they spent millions on, what is this going to do? I just can't. Anyone who comes out with an argument saying, "Oh well, that Bethesda deal really scared Stadia. I just what is it going to do? Because it's not going to add confidence to them, is it? If they're getting the tech right and they've got the content to go with it, and Stadia is struggling to do that, then
Kelly, so
that's all I'm going to say.
We'll steer this back to Xbox now and how that affects it, and we will wrap up. Kelly, so what's your overall take on this?
Well, I just think Xbox is going to take over the gaming world because that's what they're aiming for, and that's what it seems to be doing.
Yep. Andy, do you want anything else to add to there on the Xbox news?
No, I'm really upset by it all.
Okay.
Got a tissue?
Yeah, please.
My heart has loads.
Happy?
Yeah, I just want to say that I'm really actually excited for the streaming stick. That is something that I find really interesting, and I would like to have as many as I can grab down around in the house. So that's exciting, and I'm really excited if this is going to be like a couple of months from now, the server blade upgrades. That's going to be a game changer, I think, to start playing on. So I'm really excited. I'm really curious what's going to be the next exclusive game coming to Game Pass. That's what I'm waiting for at the E3.
Barry?
Yep. I mean, I think I've said quite a lot today already. And I think I said, well, actually, when we covered the Green Room last week, we were talking about E3 and we were talking about expectations. And I was talking about that synergy between Microsoft and Xbox and how this event is going to be shaped around the future of Xbox and kind of obviously what they've been talking about. And I think when we go into, we hit Thursday and we hit Thursday with a bang, we now have an indication of what the future of Xbox looks like in one particular division. We now have to kind of see what other games are kind of thrown into the mix and then wait until Sunday night until they put on a fireworks show and drop the rest of the content, which I'm just going to go out there and say Battlefield is nailed on for Game Pass day one.
Yeah. I'm just really, really excited where Xbox is heading. My only concerns about Xbox is they have absolutely everything out in front of them. They now have to deliver. They have set themselves up to be in the number one spot. The studios need to perform, and they need to bring the exclusive games, and they need to raise the bar up slightly higher for their first party games, and they're giving them the tools to do that. So that is going to be great to see. So with that, we are going to wrap up, but we will be on again in half an hour to talk about Summer Game Fest and our reactions to that. And I think it's going to be pretty cool. It is Gamers Paradise the next next week or so, just games and more games, and that is what we want to see. So thank you all for coming and joining us, and we will be back in half an hour. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.